And welcome back. Finally, it's been several real-time days since my last recording. There's been a good reason for that. I had a bit of a mishap again. I lost all of my stuff while checking my tunnel bore because apparently I wasn't lighting it as well as I thought I was. And there was just a whole boatload of mobs down there that ended up killing me repeatedly, so most of the good stuff despawned. So what I've been doing in the meantime, instead of getting all my tools back, is I've started IC2 crops. These crops are different than the normal tilled fields like I have on the flax here. You just take a crop stick here, which are very simple to make, just 4 sticks in the edges of a crafting grid. There are 21 possible plants to grow on them. You can see from my board of plants here, all the ones I have and do not have. At this point, the only things I don't have are Aurelia, which have a chance to produce gold nuggets, and red wheat, which have a chance to produce redstone. I'm increasing production on a couple things, the stickweed, the coffee, and the hops still, but I can harvest a couple of those if I ever need to. But the rest of the 21 I have pretty much full rows of. As you can see here, I have just a simple setup. These are cover strips from Red Power 2. They just hold the water in place and make it so that I can't fall in the water. But if a plant falls down there, use this sticky resin as an example. If I could throw it over, it just gets carried to the center where the transposer, of which there's one in each row, connected to pipes going about right here, come straight across and connect here, and connect to the wall of barrels. If something won't fit in a barrel, there's an overflow chest here with a restriction tube, so it won't use that otherwise. Let's see, most of the seeds come in here. Coffee and normal seeds. All of the stuff I put in manually. Each of these bags is color coded to the type of seed I've been putting in them. And this chest is where bags that are completely full go. As you can see, this one's completely full of tulip seeds, which give you purple dye. These are all dandelions, which are yellow, and this orange one is netherwort. But just for a quick view of the other stuff I have, there's another wort. This is terrawort. When you eat it, it acts like a bucket of milk. It'll cure you from poison and other damaging effects. Almost everything but blindness, I believe, can be cured with it. Potatoes and carrots, some pumpkins, melons. This is hops, which you can make beer with, which also has buff or debuff effects on it if you brew it properly or improperly. This row was originally just terrawort, but I've kind of started just putting my coffee expansions in here, so that's why there's the other row of terrawort farther down. This is the row of Feru. These are kind of more difficult to make than standard. To get them to fully mature, which they aren't yet, I just harvested them a moment ago, you have to put an iron ore block within 2 blocks underneath it. So if the farm block's here, you have to put the iron here or where this gold one is. And that gold is there for the chance of Aurelia, which is the highest tier you can get right now. It's tier 8, whereas iron is tier 6. The coffee over there is actually tier 7, so I should be trying to get Aurelia from coffee instead of iron, but it just makes more sense to try with the iron. Stick reeds are really handy because when they're fully grown like this, you can tell because they stick above the crop. You right click on them, you have a chance for a couple sticky resin. And you just let it go for a while again, and you have a regrowing source of resin that is not a tree. As you can see, the windmills are still doing good. I just replaced those 10 minutes ago, right before I started recording. I have made many more solar panels, all connected to high voltage transformers and with links between each of the sections. If my sound is working right, you just heard a mass load of zombies from inside the dungeon. I took a peek in there yesterday and there was about 40 zombies as well as various other nasties. I don't like that wall being open. A couple creepers ended up making a big mess. This pipe isn't connected yet, but it will eventually lead back to the main camp where I'll have the ender chest, and then I'll just have to run the power network to the quarry. Started this quarry again last night as well, and it's already, well, I guess about 30 blocks down. It's getting into the good stuff now, the copper anyway. But on the agenda for what we're actually going to do today, I'm going to start setting up an IC2 power grid, which will be mostly geothermal generators, with a lava quarry in the nether, providing my lava needs. And there I crashed, so we'll be right back. And we're back. We are now in the nether. I used the book to get to the nether blaze fortress and figured I'm going to have to do a fair bit of combat, probably die now. So I figured I'd actually let you guys watch that happen for once. The main goal of coming here is so that I can get out of here first and find a nice, decent sized lava lake and set up the first stage of the lava generation system. And I can see right out the window there that, oh yes, there is a very, very nice lake here. Not as much combat as I was expecting even, so that's a bit of a bonus. As you can see, lots of pigmen. There's actually decent terrain generation here. It's not all stuck to the ceiling or a single large lava lake. So what I'm going to do is cut the recording here and start building a little platform straight out that way so that I don't have to just go from the edge here. I'll also make it gas proof. So we'll be back once that is completed. And we're back. I just finished the little access tunnel here. Several blazes actually ambushed me while I was building this. Thankfully I did not fall off into the pit of lava like I normally seem to end up doing. It's just a small little room. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. It's just going to have a pump with 4 redstone engines on it, which you can see I have here. The recipe for the pump is kind of simple. It's just a glass tank, which is 8 glass in a circle, and then a mining well, which is 6 iron, a redstone, an iron gear, and an iron pick. And that is that. The final step for this is actually going to take some waterproof pipe, which I have, and an ender chest, a liquid transposer, and a couple other miscellaneous parts to get working properly. But for now, we can drop our pump down and dig out the area underneath it so it can start sending out its siphon. You can see it's automatically dropping down even though there's no power. Let's get our engines set up. We won't be turning them on yet, but we will have a lever there and another lever there. Don't seem to have brought the other lever with me, but we can just make one. I do have a stick. And there's that. So take the waterproof pipe, and let's see, we'll just put it going off this way. We'll put the transposer on this block, and then we'll have it feed straight down into our other ender chest. And with that, this half of the system is set up, so I'm going to go get stuff ready for the other half, and we'll see you probably in the mining age.